This program contains true stories of rescues. All of the 911 calls you will hear are real. Whenever possible, the actual people involved have helped us reconstruct the events as they happened.
A person's strengths may not be visible when life is going smoothly, but it's in times of trouble that character is put to the test. I'm William Shatner. Tonight on Rescue 911, true stories of heroism that show what we are truly capable of achieving. We begin on August 31st, 1991, outside the small town of Mariba in Australia, a country known for its exotic wildlife and untamed beauty.
We've got the top 11 deadly snakes in the world here in Australia, and the most dangerous snake in Australia is definitely the taipan. They get in multiple bites in the same amount of time that it takes a normal snake to strike once.
Brian Eakin was just visiting the area and had gone down to the Barron River to go swimming with his family.
I grew up with all the stories of taipan snakes. I always remind the kids if they're going down the river to be very careful where they're walking and, don't be running through bushes and that sort of stuff. An average healthy adult male given a decent bite from a taipan, 10 minutes to half an hour without first aid, and they're cactus.
Clive Brady lived near the river and was on his way home after enjoying a swim. When we continue.
I could tell that Clive's condition was deteriorating, and I thought I'll try and keep him in consciousness as long as possible, but by that time I was quite worried.
While walking along a riverbank near Mariba, Australia, 63-year-old Clive Brady was bitten by a taipan snake, one of the world's deadliest, whose poisonous venom is capable of killing a man within minutes.
What's the problem?
I need help, mate. I've been bitten by a snake. I'm coming over.
No, stay where you are, mate. We'll come across to you. Just lay on the ground, mate.
They tell you that's one of the things with being bitten by a snake, that you just to lay down and take it easy, stay calm.
In the knee there. We've got his taipan.
I went into panic since he said taipan. He was saying how his vision was going, so I thought things are happening pretty fast,
Brian took off to find a phone to call for help, and the first building he happened upon was a local hospital.
What's the matter?
It took me a while to sort of compose myself and get my breath back to tell him there was a man bitten by a snake down the river.
You all right? Is anybody down there?
While the head nurse called for an ambulance, nurse trainee Bernie Jo Tonin volunteered to check on the victim.
I thought, it's probably nothing. Bit of an adventure, go down the river. Never even been down there yet. But I just thought, just in case it might be serious, we'll take a few bandages with us.
I was glad that she came with me. That was a great relief to me to know there was professional help there.
I didn't have any experience as a nurse. As a training nurse, it's just basic care, making beds, basic hygiene care. No responsibility, really. He was pale, sweating, but then I still thought, oh, this man's put himself into his own shock.
Done me about 6 or 7 times, I think.
You sure it was a taipan?
Yeah,
You've
you
seen
don't-
plenty of them before, have
Don't
you?
mistake those buggers.
How's your breathing?
Oh, not too good.
All right, we'll go and get this ambulance.
I think he was starting to panic, saying, where's the ambulance? And we were trying to reassure him and telling him it was coming, but in the meantime, we were pacing up and down the bank ourselves, hoping to God that this ambulance would turn up.
I should have gone to the races with my wife like she asked me to.
Should always listen to your missus, shouldn't you?
Yeah.
That'll teach you for future. I could tell that Clive's condition was deteriorating, and I thought, I'll try and keep him in consciousness as long as possible. So I kept talking to him. What were you doing down here?
I've been for a swim.
By that time I was quite worried. What's your name?
Clive
Clive who?
Brady.
Clive? I was scared out of my wits when Clive went unconscious on me. I rolled him onto his side, and lifted his head back, letting him get as much air as possible.
Within 5 minutes of the call, Queensland Ambulance Service attendant Steve Quasm arrived on the scene.
There was a considerable amount of blood running down the patient's leg, and I realised then that the victim had obviously been bitten by a snake several times and possibly had bitten into a vein.
I've stabilised his leg. How's his breathing?
It's fine, but his pulse is getting lower.
Okay, get that stretcher.
Taipan venom is unique in that it's got a detergent factor in it. Its sole function is to move the venom components around the main circulatory system as quickly as possible. 30 seconds to a minute, and most of the venom's already travelled around your system.
More than 10 minutes had passed since Clive was bitten by the snake.
Let's turn him around.
The longer the venom's in the system, unneutralised, the more damage it does.
With the current, the mud, and the weight that we were carrying, Brian and I both slipped pretty badly, and I said, we'll drown the poor bugger before we get him to the other side.
Now, easy guys. Okay, honey. Come on out. Up the leg. Try and keep him lit.
Put him down, he's stopped breathing. I saw that he'd gone blue.
You start doing the I'll go get the Occuvital.
I just stood there in disbelief and went, you do CPR, you're better at it. But Steve was already off. So I sort of stood there for a few seconds and couldn't remember what to do at first, and then put his head back and started doing my breast until he vomited in my mouth. On his side. I felt for Clive's carotid pulse. I couldn't find it. I'd only done CPR on a mannequin. I had a big fear about doing CPR on a person, not doing it properly, breaking their ribs, not even hitting the heart when you did push down, so doing it on a person was very different. I felt for his carotid pulse, and his heartbeat was back then, but it was quite irregular.
What are his wrists and what is his pulse?
Got a pulse of 20.
Pulse of 20, right? That's breaking.
I was racing against the clock as far as Clive was running out of time. This was very obvious to me.
My young bloke said to me, he said, Dad, I think Mr. Brady's hat's on the other side of the river. And I said to my son, I said, where Mr. Brady's going, I don't think he'll need a hat anymore.
Clive was driven a short distance to Mariba District Hospital, where he was examined by emergency physician Cheryl Harnischweger.
What's the story here, Steve?
Okay, but 20 minutes ago,
He was vomiting profusely. He had a low blood pressure, complained of being dizzy and having abdominal pain. It was obvious that we needed to give him antivenin immediately and that we didn't have the luxury of waiting for the snake venom kit to give us an accurate idea of which snake it was. We proceeded to give him polyvalent antivenin, which covers all poisonous snakes in Australia.
I knew by then that Clyde wouldn't have a good chance of making it because he was quite serious. Felt like a leaden heart to go in, see his wife sitting there, and I didn't know what to say to the lady. Mrs. Brady? Mrs. Brady, your husband's been... I was trying to give Mrs. Brady hope, but I hoped I wasn't lying to her. He's still quite ill, though.
His uncle had been bitten by a snake years ago and he died. So I was very concerned. I was covered in dirt and blood and looked like he'd been through the battlefield. But he seemed to be on the mend, you know.
You'll be okay now.
Yeah.
He's looking after you in good hands.
Yeah, they're good people.
63-year-old Clive Brady was hospitalized for 5 days, but amazingly, he survived the deadly snake bites. A year later, the memories are still vivid.
Sickness, there's no sickness like it. It's worse than the worst hangover you could ever imagine from grog. But I feel really well now. I think I'm as good as what I was 15 years ago. Probably even better now that I don't have to go to work every day. You see these blokes, eh?
Clive did suffer one unusual side effect from the taipan snake bites. The venom caused the hair on his leg to fall out.
Took about 6 months for the hair to grow again. And when the hair come, it come blacker and thicker than ever it was. And some of my mates says, well, next time get him to bite you on the head. It'll put a bit there too, you know? So, yeah. That might be enough for you for one day, old fellow, eh? Everybody says, oh, they said God didn't want you this time, but I'm afraid I'm not a greatly religious bloke, you know? It was like the Bernie Joe and the nurses and the doctors and the sisters. Well, they're the ones that helped me. Is God such a great fellow, why'd he let a bloody snake like that bite me? Or anybody else, for that matter, you know? That's the way I look at things.
The family sent me a bunch of flowers, which was really lovely. But I still don't think I did anything special. I just did what I was trained. And I just think he was born under a lucky star. That's all. He's got to be born lucky.
I think I can still go and have a beer with me mates and tell a few lies and go fishing and whatnot, you know? Yeah. Oh, you want to hang on to life whatever you can and enjoy it wherever you can, you know? Just go and burying your head in the sand like a bloody sandpiper. If something's happened, is no good for you, you know? You won't live long that way. Yeah. Do what you like to do, you know? Yeah. That's what I reckon, anyhow.
Next.
I thought Stacy's on the other side of the swing, Daniel was up in the swing, and I thought they were safe.
On June 7th, 1991, in Mountain Grove, Missouri, Jim Shepard and his wife Ethel were looking after their 2 young grandchildren.
Ethel, she's a very overly protective grandmother. Her preference was not to leave them in the house unattended.
Daniel, he would run up to the side of the moor when I wasn't even aware that he was there. And it had just scared me terrible.
Oh, go back and play with your sister.
And so I had sent him back up there and would tell him, don't come back down here now. If you want Grandma to do something, wave at me. I thought, Stacy's on the other side of the swing, Daniel was up in the swing, and I thought they were safe.
I was holding the swing back when my grandma was coming. He was going to try to beat the lawnmower.
The next thing I remembered, I was standing against the pole. And I had a hold of the handlebars, and I was trying to raise it up off of him.
Oh, my God.
Daniel's older brother, Larry, rushed outside to help.
I heard Stacy scream, and I seen Larry. Well, you could see bone. I mean, you could see it was just sticking out.
I couldn't think of anything only just other than, dear God, help us.
I knew he was still alive, and then I saw the blood begin to squirt. And that's when I knew I had to stop the bleeding.
A St. John's ambulance was immediately dispatched.
Grandma, he said, you're hurting me. And I kept telling Daniel, Grandma don't want to hurt you. But we've got to not let that bleed.
Grandpa, go wait for the ambulance up by the road. Hurry. Thank God, what they say, Larry.
There was just a sick feeling just right in the very pit of your gut there that all of the bone and everything had been just chopped and eaten away by the mower blade.
I began to pray and ask the Lord to give me strength to keep it shut off and that he would make it.
As I pulled into the driveway, I could see the grandmother holding the child. And as I approached, it was obvious that we were dealing with something that was very life-threatening.
Okay, Glenn, call the bird. Okay.
While paramedic Bubba Shaw began treating the little boy, his partner Glenn Buckner radioed for a helicopter.
32 to base 2. Would you please put Hammond's lifeline in there?
Okay. Everything looks all right.
Her blouse was blood-soaked, and I knew that the child had lost a great deal of blood volume.
Okay, I've got the leg.
Her mind was so focused on saving that child that we literally had to pry her hands free of the child in order to take him from her.
Okay, Grandma, let go of him, Grandma.
My fingers was just so tightly locked around his leg that I was trying desperately to turn loose of it, but it just seemed like they wouldn't function properly.
Turn out of the jump bag, Keith.
We're doing everything we can. You're just going to have to bear
His level of consciousness was decreasing rapidly. And his chief complaint at the time was that he was cold. You know, by that time, he was really starting to go into shock. I looked over at the grandma and I said, do you have a dryer in your house? She said, yes. And I said, would you please get 4 or 5 towels and put it on high for about 4 minutes?
We're going to warm you up real quick, hero.
It was just a sinking feeling inside. I didn't think there was a way in the world that he would live.
We got all kinds of equipment on you right now, don't we?
You see things that horrify you all the time.
You ever been on a helicopter before?
Because it's a child. It makes me want to cry. It brings out emotions that you tried not to let the public or your coworkers see.
Okay, we're going to cover you up with some good hot towels.
We took the sheets off, but the warm towels, and they were really, really warm. Put them on top of him, covered him up, and just like in 2 minutes, he was no longer cold. His color was improving, but we'd also infused like 400 mils of fluid into him at the same time.
That's the helicopter landing right now, okay?
You're going to be
Just
okay.
a little bit noisy. It's no big deal.
It's very hard to work on a child that you know may not make it.
And the family was there, and they were like, my God, what has just happened? Because it happened so quick, you know. And after the little boy left, that's when it all really started sinking in. And I know for a fact that I gave Grandma a hug and thanked her for being so strong. And that when they drove to the hospital, they didn't drive safely and just take their time.
A call was placed to Daniel's parents to inform them that their son was being airlifted by Lifeline to St. John's Hospital, 65 miles away. There, a trauma team was awaiting his arrival, led by Dr. Rosellen Meistrick.
Tell me how this happened.
He had lost a significant amount of blood at the scene and a lot of the muscle, so it was a very devastating injury for that child.
Dr. Meistrick told Daniel's parents, Louise and Dennis Prock, that there was no hope of saving their 6-year-old son's leg.
Plastic surgeon, I've been trained in replanting.
It just seemed like I was just in a nightmare.
Very contaminated.
I didn't know for sure if he was even going to die. I didn't really know what to say to him. I was just shocked. My nerves just seemed like they just wanted just to fly out of my body, you know, when that happened.
Daniel's left leg was amputated just below the knee. He was hospitalized for 9 days. During his recovery, he was often visited by the paramedics who'd helped him that day.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Daniel.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Hi, Bubba.
It's good to see you. Every time we went to St. John's, we'd sneak away for 5 minutes and see Daniel.
How's he doing?
Glenn and I got you a little present. It's a helicopter, just kind of like the one that you flew in. Daniel is so strong, he has the courage of 100 men. He's going to be okay. I mean, he lost a limb, but he didn't lose his life.
Great.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
If the grandmother had not controlled the bleeding, Daniel would have died before we got there. There's no question in my mind about it. Did they say when he might be able to go home?
I really, really feel that what Bubba and I done was out of instinct and training.
That's really good.
Get out of here.
Okay.
And the true heroics belongs to the grandma and the little boy.
Can the little boy chant?
He looks at me and he says, Mom, will I be able to walk again? And I said, sure, you'll be able to walk again. And he said, how am I going to do that? Is God going to grow me another one? And I said, well, I certainly believe he could. We're going to get you an artificial one for right now. And he said, okay.
Daniel was fitted with an artificial leg. A year has passed.
This just hasn't really slowed him down any. If anything, I think it's made him more active. We had gone to Columbia and stopped at the Capitol building, and I said, Daniel, you've got to slow down. Grandma cannot keep up with you going up these steps.
Every year, more than 10,000 people are injured in lawnmower accidents.
Children should not play around lawnmowers. You can die.
She's got all she can take out of there. Oh, he's a loving little guy. He can get you by the neck and give you a big hug and a kiss, and it just, you know, it really gets you to the heart.
The real handicap in people comes from how they feel about themselves. And if he thinks he can do it, he could do anything he ever wanted to do.
We usually take for granted that the people we love the most will always be in our lives. So when Mickey and Kathy Dart of Alpine, Texas, had their youngest child, Mick, they never imagined that he might not live long enough to fulfill any of his dreams.
You ready? Good catch, all right.
He was a happy little guy. Did the things little boys do. He'd crawl up on your lap, you know, curl up, go to sleep.
Got your fingers.
It was neat to have a son.
But just before Mick turned 3, he began suffering from some puzzling health problems.
He started to basically bloat up. His liver was so enlarged they thought he had a rare liver disease or possibly a tumor.
It's laid out in a long
After 2 days of testing, Dr. David Goff discovered what was wrong.
The ability of the heart to squeeze was very limited. And therefore, each time the heart beat, the blood, instead of going forward, a good portion of it actually regurgitated backwards.
Notice, now we're shifting to a sort of a donut view.
We figured we could probably control everything with medication and that we'd caught it.
It's sort of like putting premium gas in your tank when the car knocks.
And it may be something that he could probably outgrow as he grew older, his heart gets stronger, things like this, but it didn't work that way.
For several years, he seemed fine.
Yeah, get out of there.
We just tried to watch what he did so he wouldn't overdo.
Don't you like it?
He said he would slow down himself when he got tired.
Mick's sister Christy was 10 years older.
I was very protective of him because he was a lot weaker and a lot smaller. Couldn't do as much, and the other kids, they had a tendency to pick on him, and you know how kids are.
He never complained. He never asked for anything out of the ordinary. Every so often he would get a little depressed, and he'd come in, and Dad, why can't I run like the rest of them? I want to play baseball and I can't. And then it got to where Instead of jumping on his bike and riding over to the neighbors, he'd walk over. And eventually the air went out of the tires, and I just moved the bike to the shop, and nothing was ever said.
By the time he was 11, Mick was so weak he spent most of his time in the house.
And then in December, I was down at the barn unloading hay for the horses, and my mother-in-law came running down there yelling that there was something wrong with Mick, and he'd had a mild heart attack. He'd had a heart attack.
By the time Mick was 12, his heart was barely working. He was taken to Texas Children's Hospital to be examined by a team of doctors, including pediatric cardiologist Jeff Tobin.
Lay on your back, and if you pull your shirt up for me. He was what you would consider really a cardiac cripple. In addition, his arrhythmias, the abnormal rhythm of his heart, put him at very high risk for sudden death. After looking at all the information then...
They just came right out and said he had to have a heart transplant.
I just kind of went numb. It meant either life or death.
When we continue.
Once you get on the transplant list, that's when you have your highest risk due to the shortage in donors. Most patients who die while waiting.
Because the Dart family lived more than 500 miles from Children's Hospital in Houston, Mick and his father moved into an apartment there to wait for a donor heart.
It was just a matter of time before his heart gave out, because it was everything he could do to keep him going. One doctor described it as running a semi-truck on a lawnmower engine. It just doesn't work.
It was real hard for me to leave him, because I had never been away from Mick more than one night since he was born.
Your mother called last night. She wanted to talk to you, but you were so tired.
You got to move up the ladder in order to get one, and we were at the bottom rung right then, and we had to wait.
Once you get on the transplant list, that's when you have your highest risk due to the shortage in donors. Most patients who die while waiting.
The morning he arrested, he talked me into going back to bed with him, right? I never heard him.
Mick!
I heard the same type of noise once before because my dad died in my arms. Massive coronary. You could see him gradually turning blue. And I couldn't pick up a heart rate, and I called 911. I knew I had to do certain things. I had to get the door unlocked. I had to give him CPR. I did make a mistake. I didn't get him off the bed. Instead of putting him on the floor where you'd have a little bit better control over him. My biggest fear right there was he may not be alive by the time they get here. I did a lot of praying.
Fire department. The 1st Houston Fire Rescue Unit arrived within minutes, including EMT Arnold Tanguma.
His dad had said, I think he's gone. We don't think that way. There's always hope for us.
Notify him that we have CPR in progress.
All right, no pulse.
Paramedic Randy Cockrell was told about Mick's medical history.
Because the heart is already damaged, you don't ever know if you're going to have a successful resuscitation. I shocked him. He converted fairly quickly.
He's got a pulse, keep bagging him.
But you also got to worry about the brain, because if the brain's been without oxygen so long, you will have brain damage.
He's back in V-fib. He's back in V-fib.
Clear.
Clear.
I shocked him again.
Okay, check the pulse and bag him. Okay, he's back in normal sinus. Give me another blood pressure, see if it changes.
When his father was telling me all the stuff about his heart condition, it's hard. To me, I thought he would live for about maybe a day or two, and that was it.
Mick's mother and sister caught the first plane to Houston. When they arrived, Mick was in a deep coma.
They told us that they would have to see if there was any brain damage from the cardiac arrest. And so temporarily he was off the donor list. We knew that he couldn't get better and that he would never get out of that bed unless he got a heart.
I kept imagining what it would be like to go through a funeral with him, how it would be without him. Because even then, we didn't have him. He was in a bed, and he wasn't Mick then.
And they only let 2 of us in at a time. So we just basically did shift work to spend time with him. He knew we were there. He'd squeeze your fingers and respond to outside stimuli more.
Fortunately for us, his neurologic state improved to a point where he gets the opportunity to become a status 1, to move higher up on the transplant list.
They closed down the ICU unit for about 3 hours. We had gone home. I thought the worst.
Dr. Tobin said we were going to surgery, that we had a heart. I grabbed Kathy and I thought I broke her ribs. Because we knew this was, deep down inside, I think we all knew that this was his last chance.
Transplant coordinator Julia Price stayed with Mick's family while the donor heart was flown to Houston.
You always worry about all the things. Can the plane go down? Will the ambulance have a flat tire? Is the new heart going to fit? And is this going to be a good organ when it gets here?
We'll take good care of him now anyway. He knew what was going on. And I didn't want to say goodbye because I didn't want to scare him. I just told him that I loved him, and I said, see you in a little bit.
They said, this is as far as you can go. And I looked down the hall, and there's Mick's heart. I had read they bring him in the little cooler. It made us feel a little bit better because we knew it was there and that he was going to have a chance at it.
He was fortunate to get a heart donor just at the right time. Actually, I think the real reason he wanted a heart transplant wasn't so much that he noticed all of his problems, but that he wanted to play second base in Little League. I'm very nervous before the heart actually gets going and starts pumping. So we pretty much pace back and forth. If the heart starts, then you're in pretty good shape. If the heart doesn't start, you don't survive.
When they walked in a little over 2 hours, it scared the thunder out of us because we thought 3 to 4, 5 hour operation.
The new heart's in place, and it went in smoothly without any difficulties, and we're off to a good start.
He was in a private room now, the recovery. The minute we went through the door, you could tell he was at peace.
Best he's had. Best he's had.
We got to put our hands on his chest and feel the heart beat. He says, oh, go ahead, it won't hurt.
Right up here.
His coloring was wonderful. I mean, he had rosy cheeks. His feet were warm for the first time in his life.
Surgeon O. Howard Frazier had performed the delicate procedure.
I think the bulk of the donors' families never really know what happens to these organs, but it can be so meaningful, and it can give a life to someone else's child.
Mick was kept in the hospital for nearly 6 weeks to make sure his body didn't reject the new heart.
Oh, boy. Without donations, there is no transplantation. And to me, for a family to be able, in their grief and their sorrow, to generously give so that others can live is the most wonderful gift that's out there.
Oh my God, you don't stop me!
We'll finally get some of those brother-sister fights that we never had before, and he's a normal little boy, he definitely.
He took his mother down and held her down, and she couldn't do anything about it. He's just that strong now.
I can go outside, run around, play, eat whatever I want. It's a great life.
Get him off!
A year and a half after the transplant, Mick Dart celebrated his 14th birthday. He will always have to take medication to keep his body from rejecting the donor heart, but his prognosis is very good.
All his friends played baseball, and because he couldn't run and work out, he wouldn't even go watch a game beforehand.
Yeah, perfect.
But this last summer, the minute, that was time to register, he was down there. The first time he got up to bat, we both started crying because he was having the time of his life.
I can see improvements in his coordination, his ability to run almost on a daily basis. It's still a learning process for him, but he can get in there and pitch, shoot, and growl was the toughest of them, I think.
Though they'll never know the identity of the family who donated Mick's new heart, the Darts remain grateful to them.
The part of their boy kind of still lives on. I myself had always said, I don't want to donate my organs. I want to be buried whole, and no, It's very important now.
It saved my life. And it can save another person's life. Because I'm going to donate organs too.
Thank you. It's a small word for such a great thing.
Next, I really didn't think she was going to have the baby here. I really expected the cavalry to show up and that I was going to take a walk.
We have chains on it. It's going to take us a while to get there.
On December 12, 1992, the worst snowstorm in 100 years hit the East Coast. In East Hartford, Connecticut, Sarah Amanek and her husband Michael had gone to the hospital the night before when she experienced what the doctors thought was false labor and had been sent home.
Around 9:30, 10 o'clock, the contractions started up again.
Hey, honey, where's your dad?
Hey, what's going on?
I think the baby's on the way now.
All right, sit down. At that point, we weren't sure if we were overreacting to the contractions, and quite frankly, looking out the window, we were unsure that we should try to venture out in the weather. The snow was coming down so hard I couldn't see the house across the street.
Okay,
hey, don't speak.
I'm not gonna make it.
Come on, blow.
I wasn't really scared because I just thought that she would drive to the hospital, but that's not how it worked out.
East Hartford Emergency.
Yeah, my wife's in labor and we need an ambulance.
Okay, how many months is she into her pregnancy?
8 months, exactly.
Okay, and your name, sir?
Mike Amanek, A-M-A-N-E-K.
Is this her first child?
No, third.
Third?
Yeah.
Is she bleeding or spotting?
Yes, she is.
East Hartford police dispatcher Wilma McKelvey took the call.
Once the man on the phone told me that his wife was spotting, I knew something was going to happen soon. So I just stayed on the phone with him, coaching him, like, make sure you have a towel ready just in case.
Okay, I want you to tell her to lay down if you want. Put a towel underneath her.
Okay. Katie, come here. Go upstairs and get me a towel. She wants you to lay down. Lay across the couch.
I thought it would be neat if she has a baby at home. Then I thought, well, the ambulance will get here.
Paramedic Bruce Lockwood was several miles from the scene.
Be advised, we have chains on it. It's going to take us a while to get there.
Given the conditions, I hoped that we were going to make it to the hospital. 8 months pregnant, she's premature. It's going to happen whether we're there or not. But if it's a bad experience, we definitely don't want him in that position having to deliver the baby.
Unbelievable.
Is it a boy or a girl, do you know?
No, we don't know.
Oh, even better.
This is what gets you through it.
I really didn't think she was going to have the baby here. I really expected the cavalry to show up and that I was going to take a walk.
These are coming pretty good. Okay, all right. Just breathe. Fine. Breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, just breathe.
Once I heard her moaning in the background saying that she felt the need to push, I started getting worried.
Okay, Bobby and Katie upstairs.
Tell her not to stop the
Don't stop it.
Don't stop the pushing. If she feels that she has to, I don't want her to.
I had never had a complete birth on the phone, and this was going to be the first one.
She had a cesarean the first one.
Oh, gosh. She had a cesarean?
The childbirth card gives us a sequence during normal childbirth. But when the man told me that his wife had had a cesarean, I was very worried because I didn't know what complications could happen.
Did the doctor say that the baby was in position yesterday?
It was.
Okay.
Yeah, it is coming. Baby's definitely coming. Okay, so relax. There's like a bubble coming up.
Okay, do you have towels under her? Okay, when she has a contraction, I want you to place your hand against her vagina and apply firm but gentle pressure to keep the baby's head from coming out too fast and stirring her, okay? Just put your hand there. They're coming. They're on the way.
It was heavy snow, and the road conditions never really cleared up. We had trouble with traffic, and when we hit the side roads, it was like they hadn't even been plowed.
Say sweet things to her.
Just slow. It's okay. It's okay. Just slow. Katie and Bobby, stay upstairs, okay?
I was concerned about Katie and Bobby, hearing their mother in pain, knowing that this could be a dangerous situation and that they were here to witness something horrible.
Slow. see the baby's head.
Okay, just keep your hand there, hon.
4.
Tell her it's almost coming.
It's almost coming. 2, 3.
Tell you to get her a new sofa for Christmas.
2, 3, 4.
Good.
It's coming.
Good, okay. Just keep your hand in a little bit of pressure, very gentle.
Okay, it's coming out now.
Well, gentle.
Baby's head's out.
Okay, turn the head sideways.
Okay.
And clean the baby's mouth.
Okay.
And his nose with a piece of the towel, okay?
The baby's head was out, and almost in slow motion, it turned up to me, and one little hand came up alongside his face, and it was a real breathtaking experience.
I've got his head in his hand.
His hand is out?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
All right, sweetie, relax. Here comes the other shoulder.
Okay.
Boom. All right,
Shoulders
baby's
are out.
All right, I'm going to put the baby on her stomach.
Okay. Wrap him in the towel if you can.
We got a baby.
As soon as the baby came out, there was an immense feeling of relief. I was amazed, totally amazed. I mean, here's Mike handing me this baby, and it was done. We did it. You know, there was no doctor. There was no ambulance. We did it.
I don't know.
I could hear Mom was moaning, and a couple minutes later I heard a baby crying, and Bobby was like, yippee!
This is wonderful. This is like 911. Okay, baby can breathe.
Okay,
all right.
Breathe, hear him cry.
Once I heard the baby crying, I started crying, knowing that you assisted in something that was so personal to them. And just this little life had depended on that line that was going through on the phone. It was great.
Katie, get me another towel. Hurry up. That's a good girl. Just give me a towel. Things are fine, honey. Things are very good.
I grabbed some towels, and I just tossed them down the stairs, and Dad said I should get a brownie badge for throwing down the towels.
How's the mommy doing?
Mommy's fine.
Okay.
Nothing to this stuff, boy.
Oh, good.
This is unbelievable.
Have you arrived?
We don't even know if it's a boy or a girl.
Can you look?
Well, I don't want to unwrap it.
Okay. Can you get a string or anything?
For what?
You're going to tie that umbilical cord.
Then came the gruesome part for him. He was going to have to tie the baby's umbilical cord, which he never thought of.
How about a bootlace?
Great.
All right, hold on.
I want you to tie the umbilical cord about 3 inches away from the baby.
All right.
Don't cut anything.
Oh, it's a boy.
Oh.
Definitely a boy.
It's a boy.
I got under there, and as I was tying the cord, I realized he was a boy. I thought. I wasn't sure. Emotion had taken over, and I wasn't sure it was a boy or a girl until I really had a good second look, and I knew we had a boy. I was really convinced this was a girl baby, so it was a double surprise.
Fire truck's here.
Okay.
Hey, Kate, come here.
Come to open the door, let them in.
Go ahead, open the front door with the fireman in. Hurry up. Go ahead, open the door. You got a brother, Kate. I think. Open it up and let him in. All right, didn't make it. She's just delivered. Okay, so can I hang up now?
Yes, I want to let you go, Michael. Congratulations, Wilma.
All right, Wilma, I'll see you later.
Oh, I hope so. Bye-bye.
As soon as I got out of work, I went and I bought the baby a present, and I told my husband, we have to go see her. We have to go see her and the baby.
Here's your new brother right here.
When I looked at him, I thought he was really cute, and I thought, he's my little brother, and I love him so much.
Sarah and baby John were taken to the hospital, examined, and released after 2 days.
He likes the way you talk to him.
What do you think about your brother? You got too much hair? We're gonna see.
What happened the day John was born was something that we will never, ever forget. Mike did great. And Katie was terrific. I think she really wanted a sister, but the second she laid eyes on that baby, it didn't matter to her that it was a boy.
Let's do it. The big burp.
He does want more.
I won't give you more if you don't burp. No, I wouldn't be cruel. I think it was really special that, in a way, I helped him come out because I was throwing down the towel.
Hey!
I'm going to teach him how to eat and watch and play. He's going to be my best friend.
In here. See? There she is. We found.
Recently, the whole family got to meet the dispatcher who helped bring their baby into the world.
Wilma is magnificent. Wilma talked to me on the phone like she was my sister, like she was my mother. She was not a 911 lady. She was a friend.
Handsome.
Looking good, huh?
You remember?
It was very rewarding to have Johnny come into this world through 911 with me on the line. It made me want to have a baby, but I've collected my wit.
Thank you, John.
Of course, I'm partial, but he's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely beautiful. He is a true blessing. We could never ask for more.
He's a good boy. He really is a good boy.
This series is dedicated to all the men, women, and children who answer our calls for help and are there when we need them most. I'm William Shatner. Join us again next week for more true stories on Rescue 911.
Step out of the car, please.